NFL Week 12 best bets are on the way. In this video, we go through every single game on Sunday and then Monday Night Football. Give you our favorite spread, money line, total. And so far this season, we've been cooking the books. It's Austin joined by Logan. Logan, since you retired totals, you've been on 2 straight consecutive weeks. Wonderful,
yeah.
9-5. I was slightly better than you last week, 10-4. And we got our squad rides back on track. I believe every single pick that we collabed and had the same exact pick, I think we went 3-1 on last week. So I bounce back in the collab plays. Let's try to hopefully turn that 19-9 record last week. Let's try to do it again or do it even better. The best news though, Logan, the New York Jets don't play this week. Yes, I don't have to be in shambles at one point in this video, but let's dive into the games. We're not going to waste any more of your time. As always, they're timestamped down below. So if you want to jump around to your favorite team, you certainly can do that. Sit back, relax. Let's talk some football. First game, Detroit Lions coming off their bye week. Sorry, they played the Jags. Same thing against the Colts. Right now, you're seeing them laying about 7 points. Over under at 50.5, tied for the highest total on the board. I believe Monday Night Football is also at 50.5. Logan, what are you feeling in this first game in the 1 o'clock window?
I'm a simple man. I see Lions, I bet Lions. I'll take the Lions -7. I mean, they're a team on a mission. They're not just beating teams; they're blowing out teams. There's no reason for me to try to get sharp and pick the Colts. I mean, that can look like an absolute donation when the game's over. Now, do I think the Colts might actually give them a fighting chance, unlike the Jaguars? Yes, because this spread isn't double digits. I do think the Colts are able to kind of hang around with them, but at the end of the day, I just think the Lions offense is way too powerful. They're one of the most explosive offenses we've seen in the league. Just when you think you're selling out for stopping Jahmyr Gibbs or Montgomery, boom, that's when they hit you with an Amon-Ra right across the middle, and they're in the red zone. And they're a very efficient offense in the red zone. Can't say the same for the Colts. I need to see more of Jonathan Taylor really in the red zone. I mean, they're finally using Anthony Richardson like he should be used as like a Cam Newton type. I still don't trust the Colts though. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I hate to collaborate with you on the first play, but yeah, I'm back on the Lions. Give me them -7. Last week you took them on the spread. I took the Jags team total under. Both were sweat free. You didn't even have to worry about it. Mac Jones was terrible. Sure, I think you could try to get sharp with Indy here, but for all the same points you put together, the Lions are just beating up on teams. And the Colts, sure, congrats, you beat the New York Jets. I'm a Jets fan. We suck. We probably should have won that game, but it is what it is. That's what the Jets, they find ways to lose. This Lions defense, though, has been really good. They'll be down one of their linebackers, Alex Anzalone. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. So he'll be down. But next man up, they just have ways to figure out and pick up the slack where guys are out. I don't think the Colts can stop the run here. My Lions SGPs of the week, if you watch the Saturday videos, there will be one this week, and I bet you it's probably going to be like Gibbs and Montgomery, each to get 40 rush yards. I don't think the Colts can stop it. Breece Hall had a pretty good day, and the Jets didn't have their first down until this 2-minute drill in the first half. I don't think that'll be the case against the Lions. They will make it. I mean, what did they have? 7 drives, 7 touchdowns or something to start the game? Insanity. We're both in the Lions. What could go wrong? Next game, Logan, your streaking Panthers. 2-game win streak. Had their bye, but they're back from Germany, taking on the reigning champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. 10.5, Logan. Are you willing to hop back in with your Panthers and take them plus the 10.5? Or you think this is a terrible spot for them coming off a Chiefs team that just lost their undefeated record last week? What are you feeling here with your Panthers?
I was hoping, I mean, I think you and I were probably talking about, I was hoping the Chiefs might still be undefeated coming into this game and overlook my Panthers. But I'm still taking the Panthers plus the points. I mean, I've taken them plus the points a lot of this year. Some spots maybe look like a fool. Some spots maybe look good. But this is just a scrappy Panthers team. Now, are they good on paper? Do they match up well versus the Chiefs? No, not at all. But there's just something about it that their defense finally starts to be putting some stops together. I think they're going to be able to limit the Chiefs in the red zone, something that a lot of teams have actually been able to do. Why did the Bills win last week? Well, number one, Josh Allen was amazing, and they put up a lot of points. But Patrick Mahomes and that offense didn't look as sharp as they needed to be. Again, this is a Panthers team that shows a lot of heart. Weirdly enough, I think Canales is finally starting to get Bryce kind of where he needs to be as a passing quarterback. He's not having him do too much. They're relying a lot on Chuba Hubbard. I like a big Chuba day, and I like them being able to keep it within 10 points.
Yeah, no, count me out. I'm taking Panthers team total under 15.5. I don't know if they even managed to get into the double digits in this game. The Chiefs defense is elite, and you talk about Chuba Hubbard getting it going on the ground. One of the worst matchups in the league. You can't really run on the Buffalo Bills. Your QB can run. We saw Josh Allen do that left and right last week. Yeah, sure. Bryce Young running with the football. Have fun with that. This is going to be a Bryce Young disaster class. You can see it from a mile away. He's going to suck. They will be lucky to even score one touchdown on Sunday. They are going to get destroyed. Your only luck and only chance, put that away. You put it away now. Actually, you can keep it out now because next week you will not be able to pull that bad boy out. You have to take it out of your background. They're going to get demolished. I'm not taking the 10.5 because I think the Panthers defense maybe does something. I'll take the team total under 15.5. I think that's a much easier winner. Sorry, Logan. Next game, Buccaneers taking on Tommy DeVito of the New York Giants under center. Hey, we love that. The books just don't care. They're putting 5.5. You willing to back the Italian man, the Italian stallion, Tommy Cutlets, Logan. Come on, take him plus 5.5. You know you want to. Bucs coming off a bye. We'll see if Mike Evans is back. But what are you feeling here?
Yeah, weirdly enough, the NFL is such a weird sport when these meme backup quarterbacks make starts because they always look good and normally in their first role because it's just like a different change of pace of an offense. It's an offense that the Bucs won't really be able to see or prepare for. And with that said, I'll take the Giants plus the points. Nasty. I know. It really is nasty. But again, Daniel Jones is just one of the most despicable quarterbacks to ever, step foot on a football field. I swear. Like if you put your money on Danny Dimes, it's a donation to the Bucs. That being said, he's not on the field. He's not playing. I don't have to watch him if I'm betting Giants. And this Bucs team is not good. I mean, they're banged up. If this was a 100% healthy Bucs team, I would definitely take the Bucs in this spot. But laying almost 6 points on the road, I just think that's too many for a Bucs team that could only win this game by 3+. I mean, I see it being Giants in this one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I'm going to I'll take their team total, the Giants team total over 16.5. I think the team plays hard for them. I think the Bucs are going to be able to put up points on the Giants defense. And I think you're going to need Tommy Cutlets to make some plays. And we've seen him do it last year. People kind of wanted a QB competition coming into this year, given, he played pretty well last year. But obviously you're paying a guy, 45, whatever, how many millions they're paying Danny Dimes. You can't just say, hey, QB competition, have fun. So I really think they rally around Tommy DeVito. I think he makes enough plays, and they're able to score in the red zone. That's really what it comes down to. At 16.5, I think they can get me 17 points at home. I agree with you. I think there's going to be something. I think they score points here, keep this game tight, and hopefully they got 17 and cover for you as well. Next game, we have a divisional matchup, the AFC East. We have the New England Patriots on the road taking on the Miami Dolphins. One of our rare losers last week, Logan, one of our 9 losses, 2 of them were Raiders plus 7.5. It was only our only collab play that lost. Jonnu Smith with a garbage time cover of a touchdown late in that one. Right now, you got 7-point favorites here for Miami. I actually have a play in this one. I'm getting in my bag here. First half total under 23.5. If the people have been watching the show the last few weeks, which certainly I appreciate you, I haven't lost a first half total yet this season. I think I'm 3-0. Trying to make that 4-0 with this one, and I'll give you a sneak preview. I have another one later on in this video. But I like the first half under here. I think the Dolphins are going to struggle to come out of the gates to score points on a Patriots defense, which has looked pretty solid the last few weeks. Not great last week against the Rams, but I think on the road they show up against the divisional team, and I think they're able to get enough pressure on Tua, able to limit those plays from touchdowns into field goals, and I'm not very confident in Drake May in the first half leading this offense up against the Dolphins defense, which has been somewhat solid. They gave up a lot of yards last week to the Raiders, but they were able to bend and not break. I like the first half under at 23.5. But Logan, what do you like here?
I like New England plus 7 in this spot. I see your angle. Again, swore off totals, and it's been going great for me. So I'm not even going to pretend like the numbers matter there. But I do see probably a lower scoring game, a game in which I think could be decided by a possession late. And I mean, Drake May, he had the chance to be that guy last week. Unfortunately, he came up small in a big moment. That's okay. He'll learn from that. He will grow. I think this Dolphins defense is susceptible, though. I mean, to get cooked by one singular guy named Brock Bowers and just let him do that to your defense, be able to that just shows me bad defensive scheming. And I think Drake May is actually going to be able to use his legs a lot in this one. We've seen more of those more dual threat quarterbacks have success against Miami this year. One of the games that just pop into my mind is Kyler Murray. I mean, when he went into Miami and won that game, a game that he just was able to use his legs and carve up that defense, I think Drake May will actually have success against them. And that you mentioned that New England defense had a little, slight setback last week. I mean, we saw a really high total in that game. I kind of thought it was suspicious, but it was high for a reason. It was high because that Matt Stafford was cooking. Well, this isn't Matt Stafford. in this one. This is just Tua. This is Tua and an offense that relies a lot on Jonnu Smith. Count me out. I'll take the Patriots plus the points.
Yeah, and these are two teams that play each other all the time, so they kind of have a familiar game plan here. I like your Pats +7 pick. Let's move to our next game. Interesting one. I don't really know where to go with this one. Minnesota Vikings on the road in Chicago to take on the Bears. Obviously, the Bears coming off a heartbreaking loss. I don't know how they continue to just sucker their fans into believing, but I'm a Jets fan, so I'm totally right there with you, Bears fans. I understand the pain. I don't know what to do here, though, because on one side, the Bears are just a disaster. On the other side, I think the Vikings are one of the most overhyped teams in the league. So I'm going to let you lead things off, Logan, here, because I don't know where I'm going. So what do you like?
Yeah, so last week I took the Bears plus the points. I just thought it was, a divisional spot that they were being a little bit disrespected on the line. That one was not popular at all in our comments. I mean, the Bears fans let me know. I always love when the fan of that team is like, I'm a Bears fan, don't bet that. We're going to lose by 1 million. They had that game. It was right there for them. I think they're knocking on the doorstep of a win. I'm going to be bold here. I'm taking Bears money line. Yes, just no points needed. I think this Bears team is finally starting to round into form a little bit, and I think this Vikings team is fraudulent. Yes, I said it. Aaron Jones is not looking. He's not looking all as good as he was earlier in the year. Caleb Williams will be able to make the plays. Odunze's finally getting involved more. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore finally showed up last week. Again, they didn't make the plays when they needed to. That's okay. You have another game at home in a divisional spot. There's no way in hell I'm laying the points with Minnesota on the road like that. Not going to happen. I think Chicago wins this game outright.
Yeah, I'm going to join you. I'm not joining you on the money line, though. You're out of your mind there. But I'll take the Bears plus 3.5. For similar reasons you said. I mean, I feel like they could get a win here. We know the Vikings, what's their calling card? They want to blitz nonstop. I think Caleb Williams will be able to make some plays with his legs. And yeah, you're right. The Vikings are fraudulent. Last week, the Titans, the score was closer than the score wasn't as close as I feel like that game was. The penalties really just destroyed the Titans in that game. If the Bears can clean that up, I think they keep this one within a field goal. I'm just not in the business for laying points with Sam Darnold on the road. Maybe against the Titans, fine. The Titans are a different type of ass. The Bears, I can't do it. The Bears, I'll take the Bears plus 3.5. Excited to figure out how that loses. But I like their defense. I like their defense too. The defense held in there with a very potent Packers offense. So defense can hopefully keep the Vikings at bay. We just need the offense to put in a couple scores. Last week, what did they barely convert in the red zone, if I'm not mistaken? Didn't they end up kicking like a bunch of field goals? I'm going to check right now. Yeah, 2 field goals and whatnot. So missed one. Tough. All right, let's keep moving. All right, next game. We have the Titans. Speak of the devil, the Titans on the road in Houston to take on the Texans. Houston's 8.5-point favorites coming off that big Monday night victory over under 42.5. Logan, this is my second team total in the video. I will be on the Texans. Team total under 26.5. I think coming off a big victory against the Cowboys literally have no heart in them. Titans defense has been solid this season. Obviously looked all right last week against the Vikings. They were decent there. And I think what the Texans want to do is run the football and then throw it deep to Nico Collins. But this is the Titans defense that's been really good at stopping the run this year. And they have some elite cornerbacks back there to kind of slow down the Texans offense. If you're looking for a kicker prop, probably Kaimi Fairbairn's probably already got 2 field goals. So he always does that every week. That's probably an easy one here. I think they settle for field goals in the red zone. I think the Titans defense in the divisional game shows up. I'd have no faith in them covering 8.5, which is where I would probably lean. I'd rather take the team total under 26.5. I like that a lot better than taking the Titans. But Logan, what do you like in this spot?
I love your angle, and I'm not going to jinx you by touching that one as well. What you said, a lot of your points about what you said about the strength of this Titans defense is their ability. I think they'll be able to key on Joe Mixon. I think they're really going to be able to force Stroud into some, 3rd and long, right? That being said, I'll take the Titans with the points. I'm not confident in this one.
You swore off taking the Titans. I thought you.
I know. I'm a simple man. I normally see Titans and I don't take Titans. But being a divisional game, that's the factor that I always factor in, because these are the types of matchups that are way closer than they should be on paper. And you nailed it when you said this is a Texans flat spot coming off a beat your chest win against your in-state rival, sort of Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're big bro, right? and then you absolutely obliterated them on Monday night. Now you're facing another what you call inferior team in the Titans, who just look bad on paper. They look bad a lot of the year. I have a bad feeling about the Texans kind of overlooking this one, and for that reason, I'll take the Titans plus the points. Absolutely don't love this one. It's kind of a dart throw bet. Sometimes though, when you're betting NFL, you got to get a little cute. Sometimes I'm getting a little cute with the Titans.
Hey, it fits your NBA system of betting the plus 8.5. So hey,
That's
maybe it
sure.
continues over into the NFL. Get those key numbers in there. I like it. Let's see how the Titans prove us right this weekend. Our next game, we are moving to the Dallas Cowboys. And there's not a lot going right in Dallas. Good thing they're in Maryland this weekend against the Commanders, who a lot of people didn't expect. A lot of people expected probably beginning of the season, the spread was probably Dallas minus 4.5. Now you got 10.5. I don't know if I want to get there with the 10.5, Logan, but the Commanders are coming off a bye in Dallas. I don't know how I can bet Dallas either. I'm going to let you lay things off because I really am stumped on this one. What do you like here?
Yeah, I am a simple man in this philosophy. I see Cowboys, I fade Cowboys. I will be on the Commanders minus 10.5. I mean, there's absolutely no possible way I can get to Cowboys. I told you, they're never sharp. I know they looked sharp at times this year, but betting a big market team like the Cowboys, a fraudulent team that I think's completely given up on their coaches in a locker room. I can't even imagine what that Dallas locker room looks like. All those reasons are leading me to Commanders. I don't care if it's square. You got to square up sometimes. I think the Commanders win this one easily. There's a reason why this spread is double digits for even a divisional game. Cooper Rush is that bad. Yes, he is. I mean, he's a dink and dunk master. I mean, you saw it last week. What did that do for you? Not a whole lot. And this Cowboys defense is definitely one of the worst units in the league. Big Jaden Daniels game. Give me the Commanders.
Yeah, I can't get there with the Cowboys. I can't try to get sharp and start taking some team totals or first half unders. I'm just going to take the Commanders with you. I'm willing to find out how the Cowboys keep it close. Sure, you could say it's a divisional game. The Cowboys, they have nothing going for them. You have a big rest advantage for the Commanders, who obviously played that Thursday night game. And then you have the Cowboys coming on a Monday night game. So big rest advantage there. I think people might get cute, be like, we'll take the Cowboys. No, I'm not losing money on the Cowboys. I'm just not. So give me the Commanders minus 10.5. Next game, we have the red hot Broncos and Bo Nix coming off a big win against the Atlanta Falcons. Both of us were on the Broncos. It was one of the easier wins of the weekend. Now they're laying 5.5 in Vegas, though. Spooky things happen in Vegas. The Raiders look dead. They look absolutely dead. What are they, 2-8? They've lost like 6 or 7 in a row. They look dead. I don't know what to do in this spot, Logan. So the floor's yours.
Yeah, I'll make this one really easy. I'm taking the Raiders plus the points. Not getting super sharp, taking their money line, but I do think the Raiders keep this one close. Not really sure how. I've been kind of going back and forth in my mind, thinking about really game flow, how this one goes. This Vegas team still kind of like hung around Miami, and then it kind of fell off towards the end of that game. Again, this final score was a little bit more lopsided than the game really looked. I still think they make the plays that they need to. And I think this Denver team coming in as sort of sizable road favorites, again, that's the spot in the NFL where I like to kind of like go away from. It's the road favorite team that's like so much better on paper because they don't always perform up to that number. Like I think that's an overinflated Broncos line from what they did last week. I think this Vegas team, I mean, they're leaning heavy on Brock Bowers for good reason. I mean, he's one of the more talented tight ends we've seen in the league this year. I don't know how or why the Vegas. I have a feeling. I have a feeling they're going to keep this one tight. This could be a 4-point game, 4-point Broncos win, whatever. I just don't think they cover.
Yeah, give me the Broncos minus 5.5. Now, this is the last week you're going to be able to get a reasonable, a low number on the Raiders. The Raiders suck. They're one of the worst teams in the league. And look, I get Brock Bowers is fun. But this is a tough matchup here. Sure, coming back home, it's a divisional matchup. Maybe you wake up for it. I think the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league. Next week, they get Kansas City. Then they get Tampa, Atlanta. They aren't winning a game until they get Week 16 in Jacksonville. That's probably going to be a pick 'em based on how those teams are doing right now. So, sorry to fade you, Logan. I can't get there with the Raiders. I don't disagree with the points you made. I just like what Bo Nix and this offense is doing. I like what Sean Payton's got them going. And, I feel like they come into here losing 2 straight road games in Baltimore and Kansas City. I feel like they show up in this spot. I don't like it. but I think they win this one by 6 or more. I'm not doing it with the Raiders. They suck. Next game, we have a big one, actually, probably the biggest one in the 4 o'clock window. We have a couple of good ones. We have the 49ers on the road in Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers 2.5 point favorites, over under 47.5. Before we even dive into that, 49ers fans, how are we feeling? Right now, plus 200 to make the playoffs for the 49ers. Mm-hmm. So things have obviously not gone right. Injuries, bad luck, whatever you want to call it. They have struggled. Logan, I have a play in this game. It's a little bit interesting. It's a teaser, if you will. I am on the 49ers plus 7.5 parlayed with the over 40.5 points. I think this is a tight one back and forth. I think that's given by the 2.5 point spread. I think this is a game that I could realistically see being like 24-21 or something like that. I like the Packers to put up points. I don't think the 49ers defense is all that good, but they'll give up points. And Green Bay's kind of been lurking. It feels like they're due one of those big weeks where Jordan Love throws for 2 or 3 touchdowns. As for the 49ers, their offense kind of struggled last week. I was on their team total over. I told you guys I have bad luck taking team total overs, and that proved they score 17. Good luck. I like them to keep this game within 7 points, and I also like a good amount of points to be on the board. So plus 7.5 for the Niners, and the over 40.5 parlayed together is about minus 130, and I think that's a winner. But Logan, what do you like here?
Yeah, I like Green Bay in this one, and you know what? There's just something weird about this number. I mean, I'm seeing a minus 2.5, whatever. I'm just going to take the Packers on the money line straight up. I mean, whatever happens in this game happens in this game. I just can't get to the Niners these days. There's just something kind of off about that defense, and that's kind of been one of their strengths over the last few years. They're able to make Brock Purdy not have to play out of his mind, not have to play hero ball, and play kind of within that one possession type games. And we saw with that Seattle game, they didn't make the stops. I mean, you cannot let Geno go down, get game-winning drives like that. You just can't do it. And now you're facing a Packers team in Lambeau that definitely has a capable offense. I'd argue a better offense than Seattle, with Jordan Love, very explosive playmakers down the field. I really do like, also speaking of Packers, I like what they're using with Josh Jacobs. He's never been a receiving type running back in his career, but they're using him out of the backfield like that. They're throwing a lot of swing passes and stuff, which adds a new dimension to that. That doesn't make Jordan Love have to throw, 30, 40-yard deep shots down the field. He's playing within his means, and this Packers offense, they just find ways to win. I think Green Bay wins this one. I'm not touching San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could win it. I just don't think they win by a touchdown. But you're right. Their offense last week, they could have put up some more points against the Bears. Kind of struggled. I feel like this could be a game where we see a lot of points on the board. And a big loss, obviously, Nick Bosa. That's a part of the reason why the Seahawks went up and down the field at the end of that game, because Nick Bosa was out. I think I just looked at a 50-50 shot to play based on what he said in the press conference. Really don't think he's going to play. So a big loss for that defense. A lot of that pass rush is not going to be there. We should see some points on the board in that one. The 49ers are going to need a legacy Brock Purdy or CMC masterclass to even win that game. But I think they cover the 7.5 that I took. Next game, we have a battle for the division, if you will. Cardinals on the road in Seattle. Right now, you got to pick them. This is minus 112. Cardinals coming off their bye week. The Seahawks are coming off that big win late in that game against the 49ers. Over under 47.5. I think this game is priced right. I think this is a true coin flip. I like points of this game, but 47 is such a key number. Think about like 24, 23 or something. What do you like here, Logan? Which team are you rolling with?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Kind of, I've been looking at how the line opened. I mean, the line opened Seattle -3. It's down to a pick'em. It's really interesting. I think the Cardinals are kind of getting a little bit too much line respect. And for that reason, I find value on the Seahawks. I'll take them with the 12th man. There's something about the Seahawks that they're going to use the momentum from last week from beating that division rival in 49ers. It's going to carry over. Geno showed flashes of what we know good Geno to be. We've seen all sorts of versions of Geno Smith. Good Geno, bad Geno. I like the fact that DK Metcalf's back and healthy. Obviously, he adds the dimension of that offense that we need to see. I just don't trust Kyler Murray to make the plays, in this one on the road. It is what it is. I mean, is Seattle the toughest defense to face? No, but I don't think the Cardinals are going to be there at the end of this game. I see Seattle winning this game by at least a possession in this one. So I like the Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. I'm on Seahawks. I faded the Cardinals the last 2 weeks prior to their bye. Got cooked. Bears should be a good look. Jets should be a good look. I got to fade them again. I just got to keep doing it. I'll double down, make this a 4-unit play. But joking aside, the Seahawks have owned them recently. Won 5 straight against the Cardinals. Granted, you could say different head coaches, different coordinators, and stuff like that. But hey, they've won those games. And that's what's most important. I think they win again here at home. I really like the Seahawks defense. I think they have some great cornerbacks. I think they're able to get pressure on Kyler Murray, and he's got to make some plays. Coming off a bye week, this could be a letdown spot for him, or maybe divisional. I just think at home you're going to have that 12th man jump, and I think that's a big difference. Obviously, I don't think these two teams have played yet this season, so they'll play in Arizona in a few weeks, I'm sure. So I'll take the Seahawks with you. I think for all the reasons you said, I think the Seahawks win that game. Big victory against the 49ers. Got to keep things rolling back at home. I like the Seahawks in that one. And then finally, we get to Sunday Night Football. We have the Eagles going into Inglewood to take on the Rams. Eagles only 2.5-point favorites. They've looked red hot, and you're only having to lay 2.5 on Sunday Night Football. Interesting. I'm actually, as you know, Logan. Actually, I'll let you talk about your play, and then you'll probably know where I'm going. But what do you like in this side?
I have a feeling I know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make the city I live in angry. I'll take the Eagles -2.5. I mean, I got my haircut this week. The barber, he draped me in an Eagles, cape kind of thing. And it was at that moment I said, it's really hard living in this city to pick against the Eagles. Even though the Eagles are not my team for reference, there's just something about this Eagles offense with Saquon Barkley. He's the guy, and he's the reason why I will keep picking the Eagles, and I'll keep riding with them. Again, I like them on Thursday night. That was a big win. What can you do following up that big win? I think they go on the road in not a tough road environment at all. Inglewood and the Rams and the Chargers, they always get their home field taken over by good traveling road crowds. There's going to be a lot of Kelly Green in the stadium for sure. That being said, I think Jalen Hurts makes the plays he needs to make. I think Saquon Barkley has a big game as well. I think this one's all Eagles.
Yeah, I would probably lean with the Eagles, but you guys know my system. I see Eagles games. I bet the first half under. I'm taking the first half under at 24.5. We have backed this the last 2 weeks. I didn't back it on Thursday Night Football because we didn't include that video or that game in this video last week. But it's been printing. The Eagles not the best scoring team in the first quarter. They do score some points in that second quarter, but by the first quarter they are shut out. We got some good momentum going, and I think the Eagles' defense is very underrated. I mean, people are starting to wake up to them, but Quinyon Mitchell. He has been an absolute stud. He's been locking down opposing number 1 wide receivers. We'll see if he cards Kupp or Nakua. And I just like their offense to maybe move down the field in some long drives. But I think the Rams can get some pressure, make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable. And this is a Rams team that is like first or second in pressure rate. If they can get Jalen Hurts uncomfortable, trying to just make some hero ball plays to A.J. Brown, I think we could see maybe a turnover in there. I think this is the first half that goes under this 24.5. Might be sweaty, but I think the first half goes under. I don't like taking full game unders because the first half always soars under. And the next thing you know, you got 28 points scored in the third. And you're like, what the hell happened? My live bet was 30. Now it's 55. Nope. Count me out there. I like first half unders a lot better. And then the final game, Logan, we head to Monday Night Football, where we have a lot of revenge games in here. As the Baltimore Ravens are on the road in Inglewood again, they get back-to-back primetime games. Props to the people that have to turn around the stadium. Give those some people some round of applause because they got to make a 24-hour turnaround to the Rams or to the Chargers. Baltimore only -3 coming off their loss to the Steelers. Over under 50.5. I think I know where you're going, Logan, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they're the better team here. I know there's going to be a lot of momentum and a lot of juice from the Chargers side, given they have Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator. They got J.K. Dobbins. They have Gus Edwards. A lot of overlap here. I don't care. The Ravens are the better team, in my opinion. Chargers are playing really well, but I just don't trust that offense. And I think the Ravens defense actually looked pretty good last week. They changed up their safety. Their deep passing defense actually looked pretty solid. They just had a lot of mistakes on offense. I don't think Lamar makes those mistakes again. I think they're able to steamroll them. Last time they went into California, they absolutely mollywopped on the 49ers. I could see the same thing happen here. A little Harbaugh bowl, though. It's going to be pretty cool. But I like the Ravens. Logan, I have a feeling you're on the other side. But Logan, what do you like here?
You had a feeling I was on the other side, but that was a smokescreen. I'm joining you with the Ravens, and I sat back and I had a point of reflection. I said, the Chargers almost tried to lose that game against the Bengals. The Bengals just made mistakes down the stretch. I mean, that was crazy. That was almost an epic Chargers of what we've seen over the last few years. That being said, I mean, I'm looking at the numbers here, right? What is Baltimore's defense bad at, right? They're not great in terms of passing yards allowed. Well, it's good because they're facing the Chargers. They don't get a lot of air yards, only 22nd in passing yards in the league. What does the Ravens defense do pretty well? They're pretty good at stopping the run. They're first in terms of rushing yards allowed. Well, we know what the Chargers want to do. They want to run the ball. They want to use J.K. Dobbins. They want to keep the clock running. They want to play possession type football. That doesn't really work against an explosive offense that they will see in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, who, again, I liked Steelers a lot last week. I liked them playing in Pittsburgh. That was just a very very hostile environment. A tough place, obviously, divisional matchup for the Ravens. Mike Tomlin owns them, right? Now they're on the road here against the Chargers, and I think we're getting kind of a favorable number. I mean, you'd argue the road favorite is not necessarily a spot you like to lay the points with, but this is a better Baltimore team. It's a little bit square. I'm kind of concerned by that, but I'm just not going to try to get sharp and take this Chargers team off of a game that they almost lost. We can't overlook that. They almost lost that game being up all that much. So I'm right. Let's squad right on the Ravens real quick.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go Lamar Jackson and company. I think they just get things going. Last week, too many mistakes. So we'll see how that one goes. I obviously could see why people would want to back the Chargers. They've been really good. Justin Herbert's playing at an MVP level. If he keeps going, who knows if he could maybe get into that conversation. Maybe not the best numbers, but still, hey, pretty good. This should be a pretty good game. So we both like the Ravens. Let's see how that goes. But that's going to wrap it up for week 12 of our NFL Best Bets. A lot of teams on a bye this week, so a little bit of a shorter video than normal. But Logan, any final thoughts before we sign out of here?
This slate is definitely not one of the more appealing slates, but there are a few games in there. I really do like both that Sunday night and Monday night game. So I'm really interested to see how primetime goes this week. I'm excited. Let's have another great week.
Yeah, we have some great games on the horizon this week. Not in the 1 o'clock window. The 1 o'clock window, you can go hang out with your wife or your kids or your girlfriend. The 1 o'clock window sucks. 4 o'clock a little better, but these Sunday night and Monday night games should be pretty good. So hopefully they are good ones for us. Hopefully we gave out some winning picks here. We'll have a similar video for college football where Logan and I both had great weeks. I think we went 11-4 combined on college football on Saturday. So if you're watching this before then, that video is posted on Friday around noon, lunchtime. Definitely go tap into that. And once it is live, I'll link it somewhere here. Obviously, we post a bunch of player props and stuff on Saturdays. So go tap into those videos when they're live. Austin, Logan signing out. We'll see you guys back again next week. Peace.